Now, India's largest telecom operator, Reliance Jio, has launched 259 rupees plan that comes with calendar month validity. This new plan will help prepaid users remember just one recharge date every month. This means that customers will have to remember a single recharge date for their connections. Jio is the first in the industry to launch the calendar month validity prepaid plan here. In fact, this 259 rupee plan comes bundled with 1.5 GB daily data and unlimited calling, along with other benefits on the validity of exactly one calendar month, irrespective of whether a month has 30 or 31 days on that. Ruchi Soya's 4,300 crore rupees follow-on public offer shut for public participation today. In fact, the offer was subscribed 3.6 times. A total of 35% of the issue was reserved for retail investors and saw a 90% subscription. Employees put in bids for 77,616 equity shares against the 10,000 shares reserved for them. Ahead of this FPO, the company had raised 1,290 crore rupees from anchor investors. The offer is entirely a fresh issue of shares. In fact, the company was bought by Patanjali Ayurved after going through insolvency. Gail was up over 3% in trade today as the state-owned gas distributor said that the board will be meeting on the 31st of March to consider buyback of shares, marking the second such move in as many years. Now, share buyback refers to the repurchasing of shares by the company that issued them in the first place. A buyback occurs when the issuing company pays shareholders the market value per share and reabsorbs that portion of its ownership that was previously distributed among public and private investors. Now, the government owns 51.8% stock in the company, though it is uncertain if it will be participating in the buyback at all. Former NSC MD and CEO Chitra Ramkrishna's judicial custody has been extended until the 11th of April in the co-location case. Now, the Delhi court order came even as the Finance Ministry clarified on the scam in Lok Sabha today. In fact, the ministry informed the lower house that the scam was perpetrated due to lack of sufficient checks in the system architecture at NSC. The ministry also claimed substantial progress by the CBI in the case, saying that SEBI had not come across any external device installed in the system. Meanwhile, the Lok Sabha was informed that there was no involvement of any foreign exchange in this scam. The centre has laid out a plan to use surplus land owned by government agencies. The National Land Monetization Corporation, as the name suggests, will be established by the government to oversee and manage land monetization. The wholly owned government company will also look after building assets of central public sector enterprise and other government agencies. Listen in as MOS Finance Bhagwat Karad explains the purpose of NLMC.
NLMC 9 मार्च 2022 को जो सेंट्रल कैबिनेट की मीटिंग हुई उसकी तरफ से गठित हो चुके हैं और NLMC और डीपम ये डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट करने वाले के लिए डिपार्टमेंट है, अलग डिपार्टमेंट है और एनएलसी में लैंड जो है, जो सरप्लस लैंड है और उसके साथ जो नॉन यूज लैंड है, जो क्लोजर सीपीएससी होने वाली है, उसका लैंड इकट्ठा करके उसका मोनेटाइजेशन करने का गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया है। ये इसमें डिफरेंस है। जो गवर्नमेंट की 100% पीएसयू है उसी का ये नेशनल लैंड मोनेटाइजेशन कॉर्पोरेशन स्कीम में लिए जाएंगी और जो आइडियल लैंड पड़ी है, आइडियल लैंड हो, बिल्डिंग हो, जिसका कोई भी इनकम नहीं हो रहा है, जो सरप्लस लैंड है उसका कोई इनकम नहीं है, ऐसी लैंड को इकट्ठा करके उसका मोनेटाइजेशन करने का गवर्नमेंट का प्रयास है, जिससे इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगी, जिससे जॉब बढ़ेगा और गवर्नमेंट को उसको फायदा हो जाएगा।
Now let's take a quick look at what else is making news in the corporate world. Adani Total Gas is making its foray into electric mobility by launching its first electric vehicle charging station in Ahmedabad. According to the company, the charging station will enable quick turnaround time for EV owners with best-in-class fast charging technology. Now, the company aims to expand its network by setting up 1,500 EV charging stations across the country. Meanwhile, Motherson Sumi Wiring made a decent debut on Dalal Street. The shares of the demerged entity of Motherson Sumi Systems gained 5% after listing at 66 rupees. Now, online travel service provider Yatra Online has filed papers with SEBI for its initial public offering. This includes a fresh issue of shares aggregating up to 750 crore rupees. Now, the company also announced appointments of Rohit Bhasin, Deepa Mishra, Harris and farmer bureaucrat Ajay Narayan Jha as non-executive independent directors.